Hello, everybody. It is your friend Kevin Morby. I'm here in my little home studio in beautiful Kansas City. The sun is setting. It is beautiful. And I'm going to teach you, look at my reflection here. You can see my reflection. I am going to teach you how to play my song, This Is a Photograph. To help me out, I got my little trusty solid state orange amp over there, 15 watt, as well as this very reflective, very glossy Fender Mustang that Fender gifted to me many years ago. Thank you very much, Fender. So, a couple of you over the year since its release have asked me for tabs or chords to This Is a Photograph. And the truth is, I don't know how I'd ever tab this out, nor do I even really know what chords are involved. But I do think that I can show you how to play it here on video in the most ADD, sort of non-musical background way possible. It's a very repetitive song. There's basically, I trust that you know this song if you're coming to learn it. But it's a very repetitive song, and it's kind of a train that you get on, and it doesn't really stop till it sort of like blows into the atmosphere, and then it comes to a dead stop. And the riff that I'm going to be teaching you is sort of 90% of the whole song. It's sort of the bulk of the song. It's the riff that once I discovered it, I was really able to write the song. And anyways, here we go. Good luck. All right, so like all great things in life, we are going to begin at the beginning. We are going to take our first finger and go to the 5th fret of the D string. That's where we're going to get our first note. Now, a note before this is that, this is a song it really deals a lot in hammer-ons. There's a ton of hammer-ons. And I know there's probably a name for this scale that I'm technically playing, but I don't know the name of that scale. And I like to look at it as it's sort of like I'm climbing up this ladder. It's kind of like repeating this climb up a ladder and then going straight back to the beginning and just repeating it over and over. And that's the bulk of the song. And within that metaphor, the first rung of the ladder, where we would put our foot to begin climbing it, would be, again, with our first finger on the D string of the 5th fret. And we're going to just immediately start off with a hammer-on with our 3rd finger on the same string, the D string, but onto the 7th fret. So, kind of begins with those 3 hammer-ons. And then we're going to begin our climb, and we're going to, the first finger that's going to climb is going to be our 3rd finger up to the A string on the 7th fret. So, and then once we've completed that, we're going to land back where we began with the first finger on the D string of the 5th fret. So it's going to look like this. Now, this is all one continuous riff, but in the spirit of this guitar tutorial, I think if we broke it down sort of into 2 parts and we looked at that as the first part, that'll make it a little bit easier. So let's look at that at the first part. We'll get that first. My thumb up here is just muting these strings, just kind of lying on top of them. Okay, so once we have that, we're going to begin our climb with our first finger, and we're going to take that again on the 5th fret, but this time the A string. And we're going to start with a hammer on there that looks like this. So we're hammering that on with the 3rd finger on the 7th fret, this time of the A string. And then we're taking our 4th finger to the 8th fret of the E string. And then we're going to land back the 1st finger on the 5th fret of the A string. So we're going to play that open A. And that's going to get us to that chord. So it's going to look like this. So the whole riff will be like this. And with that right hand, just to throw in that little extra spice, it's like a down, up, down, down, up, down. So, this is a photograph. There. Once you got that riff, you got 90% of the song. The next part that I'm going to be teaching you is what to do during those breaks. Okay, so for the breaks, it's sort of an unconventional song in that I like to look at it as like there's 3 verses separated by these 2 breaks where everything kind of falls away and then it jumps back in. It's like you're on the train and then suddenly it's floating through the air and then it's back on the train tracks. That's kind of how I like to look at it. So, when we fall out of that, again, there's 2 parts happening. and one's the rhythm guitar part that I generally play live, and then there's the other part that's sort of existing on top of it. The part that I'm playing, the more rhythmic part, is dun 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 dun. Now time's the undefeated. So you jump back in there. So what I'm doing there is, once again, where we just began the main riff, we're gonna take our first finger to the 5th fret of the D string, and we're gonna bar everything below it. And then we're gonna take the 4th finger to the 8th fret, and we're gonna play that high E and that B. And then we're gonna take that away, play the bar again, and then we're gonna take the 3rd finger over to the 7th fret of the G string, and just kind of do a bend up. So it'll look like dun 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 dun. Now time's the undefeated. So super easy. Now, let me show you the lead part. Okay, my friends, I have tried so many times to explain this lead part, and I get tangled up in my words and the number of frets and the names of the strings. So I'm gonna just play it very slowly. And if you really wanna know this lead part, you can really just look at this, and you probably just pick it up on your own. But this is how I play it. It goes like this. I hope that helps. Okay, one last part that I forgot to that I left out, that I forgot to leave out. I didn't forget to leave out. I did leave it out. This is in the 3rd verse, and it's happening during the "This is what I'll miss about being alive. This is what I'll miss after I die." And it's the easiest part of the song, perhaps. You're back at the beginning. You're back where that main riff begins. You got your first finger on the D string of the 5th fret. And all you're doing with your 3rd finger is you're vamping on that 7th fret of the same string. And you're sort of pulsing that A, open A. You got your low E muted with your thumb. This is what I miss about being alive. This is what I miss about being alive. And when it really starts to build, all you do, you're just droning that A with your 3rd finger on that D string of the 7th fret. This is what I'll miss after I die. This is a photograph. And that's the song. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed it. It was fun, and I hope you have fun playing this song. And thank you very much. Love you. Goodbye.